Hello fellow romance book lovers, how's it going? I hope you are all well. Today's video is on the book Chasing Us by Masen. This is the second book in the Dark Love series. I did a video on the first book, Chasing Love, was it been over a month ago now? Geez, time is just flying by. So I want to make sure that I mention that because this is the second book. It's the same couple and the same world. Obviously, it's the Dark Love series. So keep in mind, if you watch this video first, you might get a spoiler about what happens and where we are as far as the series goes. Chasing Love kind of ends in a cliffhanger. It leaves us at a spot where we are like, oh my God, what just happened? Chasing Us is about Lex and Charlie. It's the same couple that Chasing Love was about. Wow, I actually messaged Kat because I was like, they are the most stubborn couple I have ever read. Honestly, I think ever, and I've read a lot of books. That being said, it's kind of delicious, and it's, maybe I shouldn't use the word delicious. The feelings that they're having, which are standing in their way of moving forward as a couple, I totally understood. They also got in their own way a lot, which I, as a outsider, could see looking in. But stubborn is the way that I would use to describe them. Also, super hot chemistry. When they are on, they are explosive, and Kat gives us all the details, which I love. They are also probably one of the top couples that I can think of that had the most sex in their book. They just couldn't keep their hands off each other. And to me, it wasn't gratuitous because, I mean, sure, we all read sexy books, right? That's no secret. That's what my channel is based on. But to me, it's about the whole relationship that I really dig. And so that's part of the sexy time, is part of that relationship. And Lex and Charlie, man, they couldn't keep their hands off each other. We pick up where Chasing Love left off. It's a pretty low moment if you don't start the book out being very happy, which was a little hard for me because they had struggled so much in the first book that I was so happy that they were finally at a place where it was good, and the wheels fell off the bus, and oh my gosh, they continued to fall off the bus throughout the book. I loved that, particularly in this book, it's dual perspective the whole time, but we also get situations that happen, pivotal, important situations, scenes that happen from both perspectives. But the way Kat writes it, it doesn't feel like it's a chapter from Charlie and a chapter from Lex, and then we get the both perspectives. It's very fluid, and it might take 2 more chapters to get Lex's perspective, but the way Kat writes it, it really brings something, and I really enjoyed that in this book. We do also get chapters from other characters, which I loved. In particular, chapters from Nikki, which is Charlie's best friend, and they are tight. I loved Nikki in the first book. I continued to love Nikki in this book, and actually even more so, because it's no secret in the first book that she is not Team Lex. And she is very protective of Charlie, but she got to know Lex a little bit more and be able to, although she is ride or die Charlie 100%, she kind of became their counsel, and I really liked that about her. There were two passages from Nikki's perspective that I really liked, and I'd like to share them with you. This is Nikki talking about Charlie. Charlie is silently typing on her computer. What concerns me is how normal she looks. Her hair is pinned up in a professional bun, her clothes are neatly pressed, she's flawlessly made up, and if you didn't know Charlie like I know her, you'd think nothing was wrong at all. She looks up for a brief moment, stunned to see me, but is quick to bow her head and continue typing. The moment she looks into my eyes, it's there, staring me in my face. The sparkle in her eyes has vanished without a trace. And really, isn't that exactly how a best friend would see their best friend and know that they're hurting? And how, even though she's hurting, shows herself to the world? It really showed me their connection. And remember I mentioned about how she kind of came around to Lex? This is a conversation she has with Lex. I was trapped and weak. I tried several times to call her, but would hang up like a coward. The damage was done. I knew I'd hurt her. I apologized and begged for forgiveness. But there's something more, something she's holding back. I don't know what it is. Please tell me what it is. He glances at me like a lost little boy desperate to find the place he calls home. What can I say? I have my suspicions because there are parts of her story which don't add up. But this isn't the place, and this is not the person to be talking to. It isn't even my story to tell. Charlie's a very private person. It's only now that you've come back that she's opened up about that time in her life. Look, go back to London and do what you need to do. I'll keep my eye on her here. In the meantime, leave her the F alone. So she's recognizing things about their relationship that she wasn't privy to because she became friends with Charlie in college. And what happened with Lex was right before Charlie went to college. And this is something that Nikki says where she realizes from an outsider's perspective what is going on with Charlie and Lex. And this is how she sees it. It's also the moment I realize my best friend is in a very dark place. I no longer take sides. I no longer act in defense. I'm going to hold her hand, walk through this dark path, and remind her that no matter what happens in the end, I'll forever be by her side. And boy, is she by her side. Because like I said, the wheels keep falling off the bus, and Charlie needs her best friend. There's so much hurt between them. We know they love each other. That's not the issue at all. But along with that great love, there lacks trust, faith in the other person that they're being truthful. They both have so much healing to do on their own, let alone as a couple to move forward. And they need solid footing to actually build a foundation on. And none of that was happening. I felt like I understood Charlie wholeheartedly, 100%. I don't know if it's just that I've been through some similar things that she has been through. Not exactly, but being hurt in a relationship and trying to figure out if you can trust the person again and all of that. So not exactly the same situations, but I understood where she was coming from. And I loved that I got to know Lex so much better. And I wanted them to be together and work through their problems, although I honestly didn't know if that was going to happen at all. This is something that Charlie says that really solidified my ability to be compassionate to her when I felt like she was being so stubborn. A tear falls on my screen as the words linger. How does one stop what the heart wants? It's impossible not to see the pain I'm inflicting on him, and it makes my heart hurt. A part of it crying for the sorrow he is feeling. But this is about my pain. How am I to rise above it? How am I able to place my trust in him and let all the fears wash away? Can I hand my heart over to him? It thinks it belongs there, but once upon a time it was asked to leave, and when it left, it took me along with it to a very dark place. Has he changed? Has his heart changed too? Will he see me and understand my fears? Understand how fresh all this is? Or will he push me into the dark by questioning my insecurities, belittling me for my ability to run? I can either hand my heart over or place it in a panic room. Where's the win in that? She's so scared. When she said hand my heart over or place it in a panic room, they kind of felt the same to me at that point. On the flip side, I held my breath with Lex a lot. I really did like him and really needed how Kat let us more into his heart and soul. I questioned him a lot. I worried a lot. I was waiting for him to take a misstep. And isn't that terrible? But I kind of felt like he was ripe for it the whole time. When he said this, it really scared me. Back on European soil, something changes. The old Lex roars back to life like venom seeping through my veins, and my confidence comes back tenfold. I learn to rebuild myself, control my life, and demand this world revolves around me. And today, for the first time in what feels like weeks, Lex Edwards is back and on his usual warpath. Dressed in business attire, a far cry from the awful-looking fisherman gear I sported a few days ago, I make my way into the conference room and deliver my speech. Every single pair of eyes are on me, some laced with curiosity and many with fear. A part of me desperately needs this old me back, not realizing how my work is ingrained in me despite allowing my personal life to dictate my emotions. I was nervous because there is some levity that comes in the form of a beautiful wedding. It was at the perfect time. It's exactly what I needed. And I hoped it meant we were moving in a positive direction, and I was not disappointed. A lot of this book is them taking a step forward and taking 2 steps back, but one of them having the courage to take that step forward. And that kind of brought the other person along. I'm getting teary. That kind of brought the other person along with them. But they were never like steps together. And I needed that so much. And Lex says this, and it was so perfect. I scan her face, searching for something, and instantly her eyes meet mine. The force of her presence is powerful, encompassing, and perfection is underrated when describing her beauty. In just one glance, one stare, every beautiful moment we have shared overshadows the pain we have managed to survive. With my hands clasped over each other, respecting the ceremonial duties, I stand there as best man. I watch Charlotte walk down the aisle, and once again my heart starts beating. How can we make this work? Every step closer to me, the warmth rushes over my entire body. With a look of contentment and a gentle smile playing on her lips, she fixates on Elijah until she takes her position on the opposite side. Oh my God. In that moment, oh my God, see, I'm getting really teary. In that moment when she's walking down the aisle and you know what she's thinking, he's standing up next to Elijah, and it's so beautiful, and you know, you're like, this is it, you guys, like, this is it, you gotta do it, you know. And watching them look at each other, and after that, it was everything. It was exactly what my heart needed. Lex goes on to say, maybe that's why all this went wrong. Like fate saying, hey, you rushed me, so I'll F everything up for you guys. And just like that, our future is sealed. One moment, a simple act of the woman I love walking down the aisle is all I need to guide my heart and head in the same direction. Oh, geez. Whew. That was a good one. And now here's one from Charlie's perspective. I pull him to me, hugging him tightly, clutching onto him for dear life. He's willing to be with me no matter what. This man loves me for everything I am, for every mistake I have ever made. I give myself a few seconds to take it all in, the enormity of love and selflessness enveloping me, and I want to return just that, give him hope, happiness, and the love he deserves. Lex Edwards deserves the world, and I must give him that and everything beyond. No more lies, no more hiding the pain. The truth needs to be told. Oh, I'm a mess. Jeez. Interesting, because Kat kind of alluded to it a little bit about Charlie's mom. But Charlie's mom is intuitive. She's a seer. At the same time, I was like, oh my God, she's not done with us yet. Charlie's mom says something that had me like pulling my blankets over my head and being like, oh no, what else is gonna happen? What else is gonna happen? It was an oh crap moment. I was utterly broken. I thought I was pretty emotional before just about their story. The whole other part that goes on later in this book just completely broke me. Very honestly, I was pissed. I did not think that I thought this is it. I knew the titles of the next two books being Chasing Her and Chasing Him. And here's the thing, I have not read forward to know who those books are about. And when we get to this point in this book where I'm like, literally, we're gonna have 2 more books of this? No, I need it resolved. I need them to have closure if they're not gonna be together. I need their drama to be done. Grief is a weird thing. When you go through grief, whether you are the person that is thick in it or you are the person's significant other, and then if you're going through it at the same time, it's a lot. It's a lot. So to watch them go through the grief was really hard for me in a completely different way from what they had been going through. It was totally different. My heart was absolutely, almost completely broken for them. I was hanging on for dear life and I didn't know. I thought we were going through 2 more books of this. Lex makes decisions that made me hate him. And the bad part was that he knew he was making those decisions. He was aware of those decisions. And that made it even worse for me. I was so pissed. He pushes their relationship to its breaking point, and he knows he's doing it. And at one point he even says, just how much, I have no clue yet. And he's the one breaking them. Ah, God, he made me mad. Thank goodness we do get a happily ever after. And it's so real and emotional and real life that you can't help but be completely invested in their story. I'm so excited to read the next 2 books. Let me know if you have read Chasing Love or Chasing Us in the comments below. I always post my video on my social media as well. You can find me at katreadsromance on Facebook and Instagram. If you liked the video, I would appreciate you giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. That not only helps my channel, but it will also notify you when I upload my next video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.